After you finish picking cotton, you would go to school for November, December, and January. They built Money School in 1963. That's the year they built Money School. That was the first time they've been able to go to a regular school. I'm the only one that graduated from high school at my whole family out of 9. And we would sneak from school and go across the railroad track to that store. And the principal would whoop our butt for going to that store, but he wouldn't tell us why. He said, don't go to those stores. You know, nobody would talk about Emmett Till. And he was whooping our butts because he was scared we might get in trouble like Emmett Till did, see. But he wouldn't talk about it. He wouldn't tell us what was happening. Nobody would talk about Emmett Till. I mean, it put a lot of stain on a lot of people's heart, and still do. But civil rights passed in like 65, something like that. But we didn't get civil rights here till 71. And I didn't go through the same thing in the Delta that my older sisters and brothers went through. My dad, when he got ready to vote, they came up here talking about voting rights, civil rights, and all this stuff. And they asked him to pay a poll tax. He didn't have no money to pay the poll tax. And then they told him, write a paragraph of why you want to vote. I mean, these people couldn't write a sentence. And they would come to the church, and that's what they would talk about, voting and civil rights and human rights and all that kind of stuff. They'd be right here at the church. My mom, she said her brother learned her how to read when she was 2 years old, and she loved it to read. She was a smart lady because she always read. When we got 15 years old, my mama would sneak us to Chicago, and we would get a part-time job and we'd finish our education. And that's how she got all us out to Delta. But my sisters, she would send them to Chicago when they got 13 years old because she didn't want the boss man flirting with her daughters. Because if the boss man tell you, I want your daughter to start working at my house, you know that's bad trouble. The only way you could leave the Delta, you could sneak out. You know, somebody come through with a car you catch a ride with, or hobo the train to get out. That was the only way you could get out to Delta. And we just never had, you know, any dealing with the plantation owner kid. But once he got out of college and came back, like I say, he was a hippie and all that, and he took over the plantation. He just was a different kind of guy. And my dad and them would call him Mr. Billy because he was a white guy. And then he said, you don't have to call me Mr. You don't call me Mister. You older than I am. I said, why are you calling me Mister? You know? And he just changed the whole rules of the way the plantation was ran, and he ran it in a lot better way, in a nicer way. And people liked him because he was all right with people. My family, they stayed on the plantation a long time. My family left the plantation in 81 or 82. And I don't see how we made it. I really don't know. I mean, we made it because of the grace of God, because our living condition was terrible.